Hello there, I go by Battle Bill, and this is my first Pokemon Go PvP YouTube video. I'm excited to take you guys on this journey. I really enjoy Pokemon Go, and my favorite part is the PvP aspect. I think I'm pretty good at it. There's already some great content creators out there for Pokemon Go PvP, like King IV, like Purple Kyogre, like Pokey AK, FP Sticks, Jimma Banks, J Pharmacus, just to name a few, and I'm excited to just add on to what they've already established and provide you guys whatever additional content that I can to help you get better at Pokemon Go PvP. So right now I'm on my own little journey to rank 10 in Go Battle League. I also do battles in Sylph, so I will be sharing PvP battles in both of those areas, and as I continue to put these videos out, hopefully I'll get better and there will be less awkward moments, and hopefully I'll slow down while I'm speaking. So I apologize for any of that going forward, but I'm gonna roll with it and just do the best I can to provide you guys with as much content on this as I possibly can, and the best content that I can. Right now, at the start of this video, my Go Battle League rating is 2808, so I'm alright, I'm pretty good. And my first battle here is against Akusaki Kai. The team I'm currently running is Skarmory, Whiscash, and Swampert. A little double MUDBOY madness, very infamous team. And what I highly recommend when you're doing Go Battle League is picking a well-balanced team and sticking with it, learning its ins and outs, because that's going to give you the best chance in any matchups once you really understand them. So right here we started Skarmory Wigglytuff lead. I got as much energy as I could. And then he swapped out his Wigglytuff, he brought in Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu is a big issue for my team. Luckily, I stuttered on the swap, so he threw a Thunder Punch, and I knew it was coming because of the way I swapped, and it landed on my Whiscash. But I'm still worried about the Grass Knot. So no matter what he's throwing here, I'm shielding no matter what, because I cannot let my Whiscash get hit by a Grass Knot. I have Swampert in the back that can get one hit by a Grass Knot. And now I'm just going to farm up a little bit more energy because I know he threw the Thunder Punch and can't have the Grass Knot yet. And I'm throwing the Mud Bomb right now. I know that if this goes unshielded, it's going to KO. I'm assuming he must have been very behind on energy because of Thunder Punches he threw. So he decided to let that go through, and now I'm in a much better situation. I'm going to just try and throw as many Mud Bombs as I possibly can at his Wigglytuff. The Charms are going to start to eat away, but right now I'm feeling pretty good. I'm down a shield, but my Whiscash is loaded on energy. I'm just going to start tossing as many Mud Bombs as possible. I got Skarmory in the back. Alolan Raichu's already been dealt with. So right here, I'm racing to that Mud Bomb. He gets another Charm in. I'm all the way down. That's fine. I'm going to wait out the switch clock here because I want to make sure I'm free to switch whenever, and I'm going to bring Skarmory back in. I wanted to try and throw that Sky Attack right away because I didn't want my Skarmory to get hit by anything. Unfortunately, I lost a CMP tie there. He lands the Ice Beam. None of Wigglytuff's moves are going to one-hit KO Skarmory, so I wasn't worried about using the shields. Now I throw the Sky Attack. So now that I've thrown it, he decides he wants to shield it again. Great, because I already had another Sky Attack ready. So I'm throwing it as fast as I can, because as much as those Charms are resisted by Skarmory, they still do a decent amount of damage. So now I've taken out his Wigglytuff, and I want to swap in Swampert right away because I have a shield. I don't want, no matter what he brings in, to get any type of energy, because Swampert can beat a lot of things. Now, if it was a grass type, I would have been a little messed up, but I kind of figured it wasn't when he swapped in that Alolan Raichu. So right now, it's Swampert on Whiscash, and this is a great situation for me. All I need to do is get to these Hydro Cannons. Honestly, there's not much this Whiscash can do to beat my Swampert, considering I have the shields. And he threw his energy pretty quick on the first one, so I knew it was a Mud Bomb. This next one I'm pretty sure is a Mud Bomb also, but I might as well shield it. No reason to take any chances here. And I'm just going to wrap up this match with another Hydro Cannon and take my first win of this set. Now, this was a really good streak that I'm about to go on. This set I actually go 5-0. I wanted to show you guys this set in the beginning because I want to, prove myself, show that you're watching some quality content, that I'm a very good Pokemon Go PvP player, and in the future I will definitely be sharing losses and showing you guys what I learned from it. But right here is some rank 9 battles where I just end up in some really good situations, and I just also play really well. So this next battle I have is against 1, 2, 3 Say Yeah, And right now, again, I'm still running the same team, double MUDBOYs. And I have Skarmory on Deoxys. Now, this is not a good lead for me if he's running Thunderbolt. I have no idea what moveset he's running, so I don't take any chances. What I do, and this works a majority of the time, is I charge up a Sky Attack, and then as it fills up, I swap. I swap right away to try and catch a charge move. Usually, that's when Deoxys is filled up on a Thunderbolt. In this case, he decided he didn't want to throw any of his energy, so he swapped out, brought in Shift Tree, and I'm in a bit of a bad situation. I could go for the Sludge Wave. I'm trying to remember if I do or if I don't here. I do go for the Sludge Wave. Sometimes I like to go for the Hydro Cannon because usually the opposing player is going to shield their Shift Tree because his Sludge Wave would one-hit KO, so he does shield it. I'm going to start trying to like shifting, going for Hydro Cannons because that shield almost always comes, and I can get to 2 Hydro Cannons and land them. In this case, I was able to get to another charge move, get to that Hydro Cannon, and it does like about a third, I would say, of his health, which is a nice chunk. And now this Leaf Blade's coming through. I can't use all my shields here. This is totally fine. Shift Tree's in a good health area, so I can bring in my Skarmory and essentially just farm it up. He's going to get to another charge move here, and I'm just going to tank it because it's Foul Play. Foul Play does a good amount of damage, but it's not like something I need to be worried about, and I want to save all this energy for that Deoxys. So I farm it all up. Deoxys is coming back in. I'm going to throw a Sky Attack immediately because he's going to dump that Deoxys energy. Like, he wants to bring in... Oh, I could have swore this was that match. I apologize. He brings in the Registeel, but that's what I was worried about. I was worried about his Deoxys coming in with all that energy. So I dumped the Sky Attack right away, and that turns out to be a mistake. He has a Whiscash. I mean, he brought in the Registeel, so I swapped in my Whiscash. And now that Deoxys has come in with all of its energy, and now I'm trying to figure out what the moveset is. It's Rock Slide. When you have Deoxys on Whiscash, you got to be worried about the Psycho Boost. As much as Psycho Boost lowers Deoxys' attack, that first one does a good chunk of damage, and those counters do start to add up. Right now, though, he's thrown 2 charge moves, both of them being Rock Slide, so I'm not too worried about a Psycho Boost coming, so I just want to spam this Deoxys with as many Mud Bombs as possible, because I need to take this Deoxys down. I think I'm also trying to burn as much time as possible for the switch clock, because I want to get my Whiscash out of this situation with energy, because Skarmory has no chance against that Registeel. So this is perfect. He decides to throw another Rock Slide. I know this isn't going to KO me, so I'm taking some chances here, and I throw in Skarmory as fast as I can and hit the charge move right away. So whether he does or doesn't decide to shield this doesn't really make too much of a difference to me, because then I got the shield. In this case, he didn't shield, so I just knocked out his Deoxys. He's going to go for the Flash Cannon here. I guess he doesn't want my Skarmory to be doing any more damage, and I'm totally fine with this. Lock-ons don't do really anything, and Whiscash has enough health to survive a barrage of lock-ons. I have to be worried about the charge move he's thrown, so I'm just farming up as much as possible. I like to try and over-farm when I'm going against a Registeel. In this situation, it doesn't matter to over-farm. I typically like to do it in case a person switches out their Registeel, but I mean, it's his last Pokemon here, so he can't switch it out. And I'm just trying to throw these Mud Bombs now as quick as I can. So he throws a Flash Cannon, which doesn't make a difference to me because the Lock-Ons are what I'm worried about. He's not going to get to another charge move in time, because as much as Lock-Ons do charge energy super quick, I also get to my Mud Bomb super quick. So now this is just a race. I want to get to that Mud Bomb before he can lock on me down. And I got there just in time. This was such a crazy match. I actually had a couple crazy matches in this one. So I played this one perfectly. And Whiscash ends up winning this with like 1 HP. It was, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there staring at the match like, how did this happen right now? So now we're going to move on to my third match. This match is up against D. Lee, and I missed the numbers. It's okay. We start with Skarmory on Altaria. Nice little shiny flex. I'm actually surprised I don't see more shiny Altarias in Go Battle League. I guess we all want to go for the best PvP IVs, and a lot of the times your shinies aren't the ones that have those good PvP IVs. I don't like this matchup. I've learned with my team, Altaria is one of my biggest issues, so I tried to play it a couple ways. I tank a Sky Attack, and he actually switches out. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll have Skarmory on Altaria later. Usually somebody that's running Altaria against my Skarm, they don't switch out right away. Usually I'm trying to like farm up energy, throw Sky Attacks, and then get my Skarm out with some energy and throw in Swampert. But he decides to switch in Azumarill, and I'm like, I'm totally okay with this. I bring in Swampert. I love Swampert on Azumarill, but the only way this works is if I bait and I get those shields. So I charge all the way up to a Sludge Wave, and I throw the Hydro Cannon, because in this matchup, you need to land the Hydro Cannon. So honestly, if it goes through, that's totally fine, because I need to land at least one Hydro Cannon anyway. I decide to throw another Hydro Cannon. He shields both of them. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So now I just need to shield whatever charge moves he throws at me and throw another Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave's not going to KO him at this health. So I need to throw the Sludge Wave, and then I need to also throw another Hydro Cannon. I didn't hit the energy or the charge move right away because I was kind of worried he was going to switch out, and the last thing I want to do is throw my Sludge Wave at something like Registeel or something that might resist it. And at this point, I'm being a little chancy. I was going to try and farm him down, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to mess up this whole match if I go for the farm down. He gets to the Play Rough. Because he's clearly running Play Rough and Hydro Pump, or he wouldn't have been throwing consecutive Play Roughs. He would have just went for the cheaper Ice Beam. So I throw the Hydro Cannon, knock out the Azumarill, and now I just charge up more Hydro Cannons to try and take down his Altaria as much as I possibly can. I decide to swap because he's just going to farm down my Swampert at this point, and I knew I had energy on Skarmory, so I'm like, you know what, let me swap in Skarmory, land this Sky Attack as quick as possible. If he swaps out, fine, I can still deal with this Altaria somehow. He doesn't swap out, which is perfect. He has no idea what my third Pokemon is, but Swampert and Whiscash do not deal with Altaria too well. Yes, Whiscash has Blizzard, but like you got to get all the way to the Blizzard to take down the Altaria any type of health, because Mud Bombs don't do anything, the Mud Shots don't do anything, and by the time you get to the Blizzard, so right now I'm just throwing these Mud Bombs at his Whiscash, and I'm finishing off this match. I apologize for any interruption between the clips. I'm still kind of getting used to using a camera and doing camera work for YouTube, and for whatever reason my first clip, the camera stopped and just ended it for whatever reason. So now I'm starting this clip, and obviously, I'm going to try and mesh them together to make one YouTube video. So now this is the fourth battle. I'm going against a trainer named Electroblade. And in this battle, I'm obviously leading with Skarmory. This trainer brings in Tropius. Oh, this was a crazy match. So I win lead. Usually I don't like this because I know they're going to swap out their Tropius. Obviously you can't have Tropius against a Skarmory. They're farming up energy for whatever reason. So I'm waiting for the swap. I bring in my Swampert. What's super important here after I won this lead is that I keep switch advantage. And that's always such a hard thing for me to do after I win the lead. I feel like whenever I lose lead, I get switch advantage back easier than when I keep the lead. Because if I lose switch advantage, that means Tropius is going to end up on Swampert and Whiscash, and that's going to take out 2/3 of my team right there. So my goal here is to land the Sludge Wave. I landed it. Perfect. I'm going to keep switch advantage. Once one Sludge Wave lands on that Azumarill, you can expend both shields, and you're going to still win that matchup. So at this point, I think that trainer knew that they were pretty screwed, so they're like, you know what, let me let this Hydro Cannon through so he could bring in his Tropius again. And he brings Tropius back, which obviously I'm just going to let Swampert go down at this point. Swampert did its job. It kept switch advantage for me. It took out the Azumarill. Leaf Blade is going to one-shot Swampert, and it will also one-shot my Whiscash. So I'm like, alright, this is perfect. I'm bringing Skarmory back in. But I'm still expecting him to swap, and I don't know why I ended up throwing the charge move. Like, I knew he was going to swap, so that's why I didn't throw right away. And he ends up still perfectly landing his Registeel on my Sky Attack, which is still totally fine, because I'm just going to bring in Whiscash, and Whiscash with one shield will still destroy Registeel with 2 shields. It's great. I love the matchup. If you ever are struggling with Registeel, bring Whiscash. Whiscash puts him in check. So now I'm charging up these Mud Bombs. I like to overcharge just to make sure I have extra energy for whatever reason, especially because I know his only win situation in this matchup now is to get Tropius back in as quickly as possible. So I'm being very weary of that, and that's how this matchup ends up working out so perfectly for me. So I throw my Mud Bombs, he shields both of them. Totally fine. Now I'm not overcharging because I'm paying very close attention to my switch timer and in the bottom right corner, and I know once my switch timer is up, his switch timer is up, and he's going to want to bring his Tropius back in, and that Tropius has loaded energy. So I'm like, oh snap, my Whiscash is going to die. So I go for the swap immediately. I know he's going to switch it in, and what does he do? He switches in his Tropius. Now, I'm pretty sure I could have won this one even without that, because you saw how low Registeel's health was. So even if Whiscash goes down, Skarmory's going to, I could have just over-farmed on his Tropius with my Skarmory, and then taken it out, and then use whatever remaining health Skarmory had to take out the Registeel. But you'll notice he quits because at that point, he just had no chance. Once he couldn't take out Whiscash, he had no chance in that matchup. So now that brings us to our final match, which goes against K Donahue 467. And in this matchup, as always, I'm leading Skarmory, and I'm waiting for his lead. Oh, it's Azumarill. Now, I like to play this matchup very particular too. Like, you learn how you want to play certain leads when you stick with a consistent team for a long time. So how I want to play this Azumarill matchup is I want to throw my Sky Attack. I know that if we CMP tie, he's definitely throwing Ice Beam. And if he goes for one more bubble, he's most likely going to be throwing a Hydro Pump. This person waits and throws 2 more bubbles, so I'm like, I wonder if he overcharged or not. I don't take any chances. If it's Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, I'm shielding, and I'm bringing in Swampert. This ends up being an Ice Beam. It could have been a Hydro Pump, but I bring in Swampert right away, and I wait to see what his next move is. He decides he wants to keep in his Azumarill, so I'm like, alright, interesting. Usually, people will switch. I do this to try and lure out the Grass type in the back. Usually, if you bring in a MUDBOY, they'll bring in their Grass type. And I'm like, I will sacrifice one of my MUDBOYs to get that Grass type out, because that Grass type can take out 2 of my MUDBOYs if Skarmory ends up dying. So, he doesn't bring in anything to go up against my Swampert, so I'm just like, alright, let me spam as many Hydro Cannons as possible. Hydro Cannon will not take out Azumarill at its current health, so I'm honestly pretty surprised that he even shielded one of them. But now I'm pretty sure I want to commit to keeping Swampert. I guess not. No, I did not want to keep Swampert alive here. So I let it go down, and I guess my logic was Azumarill's pretty much in farm range at this point, so I'm just going to quick move it down, and I'm going to hope for the best and hope that it can't get to the Ice Beam or anything else, and it couldn't, so I'm like, alright, fine. He pretty much showed me by not switching that he doesn't have a Grass type in the back, and he ends up bringing the Alolan Raichu. So I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. So I throw my Sky Attack because I just want to do as much damage to this Alolan Raichu or get the shield. I really want that shield of Alolan Raichus because I have my Whiscash in the back, and my Whiscash needs to land the Mud Bomb to take it out. So now I'm like, alright, this is it. Game's over. I have no chance here. I swap in Raichu, he baits me with a Thunder Punch. I'm like, great, this is even worse. I was expecting Grass Knot. I have no chance of winning this match. Honestly, out of this set, I got really lucky here. He should have had Grass Knot on his Raichu, and he should have just been able to take out my Whiscash, and then it would have been Skarmory on his last Pokemon, which I'm pretty sure is Registeel. But he has Psychic. He's running Psychic on his Whiscash. On his Raichu. And I'm like, why? Why are you running that? If somebody in the comments, let me know why you'd want to run Psychic on your Alolan Raichu. I'm pretty sure no matter what you're using your Alolan Raichu for, you want to have Grass Knot so it can cover Raichu's main weakness, which is Mud Boys and ground types in general. But he's running Psychic, and once that comes through, I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to win this. So I think he swap out his Alolan Raichu, so now it's my Whiscash on his Registeel. He ends up getting to the charge moves, and he throws a Flash Cannon out on my Whiscash, and I'm like, that's fine, because Skarmory has plenty of health. Skarmory, oh, this was another close one too. So not only did I get lucky, I over-farmed on Skarmory, because I'm like, his Raichu has health on it, and those Volt Switches that Raichu's doing will take out my Skarmory. So not only did I get lucky, I also played it really smart. I left myself in range for one more Wing Attack, I think the quick move is on Skarmory, so that I could get to the Sky Attack just in time. If I don't over-farm there, his Raichu will just Volt Switch me down, and I would have lost that match. So that match, honestly, I should have been 4-1 in that set. I got super lucky that he was running Psychic, and then I played it really smart at the end by over farming my Skarmory on his Registeel before taking it out. So that is the end of that Go Battle set, and I did a few more sets after that set, and my current rank right now is 2920. Yeah, I think it's around there. So I'm super close to rank 10, and I'm hoping with tomorrow's set that I will be able to get myself to rank 10. So I'm just, waiting until it's time for me to do my battles, because thanks to Niantic, by taking the walking distance away due to these unfortunate circumstances, we get these battles for free, essentially. And I've been just doing all 25 a day every single day. So that is the end of that my first YouTube video as I continue to stutter. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you do. Tell me in the comments what types of threes you're running. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video with some more Pokemon Go PvP content.